The following is a presentation of WCMP Sports, local sports.
That's the 25 to the 20 to the 15. He's going to high step into the end zone. Touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
Welcome inside Pine City High School for tonight's girls basketball matchup here between the Pine City Dragons and the Pierz Pioneers. As the intro said, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. I'll be bringing you all the action from tonight's matchup here between these two opponents. Not a conference game, not a section game, just a real good game between two pretty darn good teams. As we get moving on with the pregame here, the Pierz Pioneers visiting Pine City. These two teams don't play each other super often, but they do play each other almost every year or every other year, and it's a matchup that you always have to watch out for. Again, non-conference, non-section, but it matters in the QRF for your points-wise to help you out as we take a look at how these two teams have done so far this season, starting with the Pierz Pioneers. We'll kind of look at both to begin with because the section that Pine City plays out of is 6AA, and there's 16 teams in that one. Pine City, is 11th in that section. This section this year is just stacked with teams that are at or over 500. You got the top two teams at 6-0 in Sauk Center and Royalton. Then Annandale at 13-3, Malacca 10-4, Spectrum 13-3, Legacy Christian Academy 13-5, Foley 9-7. Albany is the kind of odd team out just because they have had and played so many good teams this year. They're 7-10, but they did that on purpose to get a late run and then to get that confidence going into the playoffs. Then you got Holdingford at 11-6, Kimball at 12-5, and Pine City, they're at 11th at 9-9. So looking at this section, it's insane to think that you've got so many teams in this section, and most of them have double-digit wins and are over 500. In the section, you've got three teams that don't have a 500 record, that are under 500. One of those teams is in the top 10 anyways in Albany. The two teams who don't have a double-digit wins or are over 500 is Moore and Melrose at 4-12 and 5-11. Everyone else is 500 or better. It's two teams out of 16 that are, or three teams, that are under that 500 mark. It just goes to show how talented this section is, and it's not like it's a random section to be that talented. This is year in and year out for this section. It is just insane for it to be that way. Pine City would, if the playoffs started right now, go on the road to begin their playoff journey, but it doesn't start right now. It begins at the end of February. This section will be seeded on February 23rd. So all the teams in the section will have played their final games of the season, regular season, before or on February 23rd, and that's when this section will get seeded 1 through 16, and we'll find out who will play where, when, and at what time. No matter what, we will probably be covering Pine City on the road somewhere. Of course, you got Malacca and Foley that we still got to make sure we take care of, and Mora as well. But moving over to Pierz, who plays out of Section 7AA. They are currently 4-14 on the season, towards the bottom of that section, but they're not at the bottom, believe it or not. Pillager, Hinckley, Flint, Staples, Motley, and Greenway are behind them in that section. Pierz is the lowest team in that section without a loss. They are 2-3 in the section, 4-14 overall, as I mentioned. They score about 42 points per game, give up about 54 points per game. Now, their defense, considering their record, is pretty darn good. Unfortunately, their offense just has not matched that outcome that they would like to see. But their section is no slouches either. They're home to two of the top 5 teams in the state. Crosby Ironton, number 3, and I don't know, they might be the best team in the state in Class AA. as we look at some of the other teams in the state who are, top 2 or 1 and 2, you got Providence Academy, who's number 1. That's really no surprise. Number 4 is Minneapolis North. Again, really no surprise. But then the number 2 team is Minnehaha Academy. Once again, really no surprise. As we take a look at more of the top 10, Caledonia rounding out the top 10 at that 10 spot. New London Spicer at 9. And then you've got Visitation at the 6th spot. And then Jordan is at the 7th spot. So Sauk Center at the 8. And as I mentioned before, Crosby Ironton Proctor at 3 and 5. So it's just crazy to see how talented Class 2A is once again this year. Again, Pierz plays out of 7AA. Crosby Ironton's there at number 3 at the top of the section. Proctor's number 5 in the state, number 2 in the section behind Crosby Ironton. But that's not the only other teams that are, double-digit wins or above 500. You got Pequot Lakes, Duluth Marshall, Mesabi East, Barnum, Aitken even. And then it is 500 from there on down or worse. But the top let's count them out. 2, 4, oh, I lost count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 teams are well over 500, and then 8 and 9 are at 500. That's Moose Lake, Willow River, and 2 Harbors that are at 500. So just think about that. I mean, and Pine City almost beat Aiken. That's a game in which, they probably should have beat Aiken. There's been a few of those this year, but as we continue to look at Pierz, 4 and 14 on the year, 2 and 3 in this section, and we'll take a look at their schedule and see the 4 teams that they beat on the season. Of course, they play out of the Granite Ridge Conference, so a conference that Pine City is familiar with. They are 0-7 in that conference right now. Those 4 teams that they beat, of course, 2 of them were section opponents, but the 2 wins they got early on that helped them to a 2-1 start was Swanville and Mora. They won those games by a combined 3 points. They beat Swanville by 2 and Mora by 1, but that was it for their good start. After 2-1, they lost a bunch in a row, make them 8 in a row. After that, losing to Osakis, Malacca, Foley, Esco, Holdingford, and Aiken. Pine City did beat Esco this year, but that was only a 3-point loss for Pierz in that game. It was only a 4-point loss to Osakis as well. But then they got into a Christmas tournament over in St. Cloud, where they fell to both Walker Hackensack Akeley and St. Croix Prep. They got out of that, though, in the new year with a win over Staples Motley, 2 losses to Pequot Lakes and Little Falls, and they beat Hinckley Finlayson, and then 3 straight losses to St. Cloud Cathedral, Albany, and Malacca. Now, I look at that Albany game, and man, that's a close one. Albany, again, a much better team than their record shows because they have played some, if not almost all, of the top teams in the state in Class 1, 2, 3, and 4A. So for them to only lose to Albany by 14 points, that's pretty impressive for Pierz. But you take a look at some of these other losses again. You could St. Cloud Cathedral, only a 9-point loss. It was only a 12-point loss to St. Croix Prep. So looking at some of these losses for Pierz, they could easily have turned around and turned them into wins, but unfortunately has not been the case. And as my grandpa used to say, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So that for Pierz, it comes down to, we could have had it. Almost. And unfortunately, it has just not been there for Pierz yet this year. For Pine City, you could unfortunately kind of say the same. Now, again, their spot in the section can't improve much. And more than likely, unfortunately, they probably won't be getting any home playoff chance. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying more than likely it won't happen just because of their place in the section and of how talented and how many wins this section has. Plus, you got Albany, who's up in the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th spot. That's the last seed to have a home game. Well, actually, looking at the section now, they lost one, so they're at 15. So it might be the 1 seed that gets the bye. So 8 could still be the lone or the last team that gets a home playoff game, and it is. So for Pine City, they would need to move up 3 spots in order to get that last home playoff game. I just don't see that happening, especially with Kimball and Holdingford both having winning records at 12-5 and 11-6, and then Albany's at that 8 spot, but they're 7-10. Now, Foley is at the 7th spot at 9-7, so there is a little bit of room for movement. Unfortunately for Pine City, I don't see them moving up enough, even if they were to win out, to get a home playoff game just because of the talent in this section. Not that they couldn't, not that they don't have the talent to go on an extremely good run to end the season and get into playoffs, but it's just the rest of the section is that good as well. So, not that Pine City couldn't do it, but the rest of the section is just that talented. As we take a look at Pine City, they're 1-2 in the section, 9-9 on the season, 50 points per game they score. They give up about 60. Again, a little bit more than they would want to give up at this point in the season. They want their defense to be a little bit more stiff, if you will, but they are continuing to improve. It started out with 3 straight losses to Crosby, Ogilvie, and Aiken. Ogilvie and Aiken were 2 games in which they should have won. 2 games which, if they were to play those 2 teams now, it'd be an easy, well, not an easy win, but it would definitely be wins. It'd be for sure wins. Then they would beat Mora. Then they would lose to Proctor before going on a 3-game win streak before Christmas break. They beat St. Croix Prep, St. Francis, and Esco. They would get into that tournament up at Cloquet and lose to Cromwell Wright, but then beat Cloquet. They came out of that losing to Foley and Bram, beating Hinckley Finlayson, losing to Malacca, beating both Mille Lacs and East Central, and then falling recently to Crosby Ironton, but then beating Barnum on Monday, 64-55. And I was at that Foley game. I tell you what, that's a game in which Pine City definitely feels like they should have won. And being at that game, they probably should have. Unfortunately, not the greatest start. And the second half did not start the way that it should have for them. And you turn those starts of the half around, they're looking at 2, 3, 4 more wins even on the season. So definitely a team that should be watched out for, because this could easily be a double-digit win team, and they could be in the top 8 right now, maybe even in the top 6. But unfortunately, sometimes that's just how the season goes. Of course, again, the playoffs will start on February 27th, so we've got literally 4 weeks from now before the playoffs start on February 27th, a Thursday. That is going to do it for the pregame. We're going to get a word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we'll have the national anthem been played, and then we'll get our starting lineups. You're listening to Girls Basketball on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab a Meat Lover's burrito or new Ranchero beef and cheese burrito. I want one right now. Wash it down with everyone's favorite Celsius, buy one, get one free. And Holiday still has the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store and save. Open 24/7, 365. The Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics. A smile you will embrace forever.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
baseball and softball coaches. Are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team.
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
And space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the Pitch today or visit them on Facebook.
Here's the Pitch in North Branch.
Back here on Cool Country, 100.9 FM WCMP. Starting tonight for both of these teams on the Pierz Pioneers side, it is going to be number 1, Sophie Liedenfrost. Number 3, Abby Vernig. Number 12, Cora Toops. Number 21, Macy Sadlowski. And number 33, McKenna Hoheisel. For the Pine City Dragons, it will be number 2, Mallory Klepper. Number 3, Piper Metling. 4, Paige Gray. 11, Brooke Boland. And 14, Retta Ganote. The Pioneers are head coached by Scott Harold. The Dragons by, of course, Patrick Judd. Vivian Lotte is still out, unfortunately, for the Dragons. She will not be available once again tonight, of course, on the injured list. So hopefully she is able to get back before the playoffs, so that way. And it's not that she couldn't get into the playoffs and have plenty of success, getting back into the rhythm of things. But you just want her to get back into the rhythm of things in the regular season. That way you don't have to worry about it in the postseason and just kind of get back to used to the speed of the game. Again, it's better for her as a player to do that during the regular season than it is in the postseason. 18 minutes are up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Pine City will wear their green home uniforms. The white letters numbers outlined in black, the black trim on the neck sleeves, the waistband, and the bottom of the shorts, the Dragon logo on each side of the short. Pierz Pioneers in their white away uniforms, red letters and numbers outlined in black, the red stripe on the short, red trim on the neck, sleeve, and the waistband. Tip is won here by Pine City. Quick give to Gray, now to Boland, now to Ganote. Back to Boland. On the far side for Klepper. Klepper will go all the way across court to Metling in the face of a defender. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded there by Hoheisel. Slowing things down is Liedenfrost. Give over on the far side to Vernig. Back to Liedenfrost. Back now to Sedlovsky, who comes out of a group of players, and shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Piper Metling. Wearing a brace on her left leg. Of course, that's the leg that, unfortunately, she tore that ligament on. So hopefully it doesn't mean that anything's hurting. Hopefully it's just purely just precautionary. Boland nearly lost that one. She did lose it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pierz, so we'll stay with Pine City. Ganote will get set to inbound for the Dragons. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Into Klepper, hands it off to Ganote. Now to Boland on the far side, Gray. Gray goes inside Klepper. They want to get that turnaround jumper, but it's not going to be there now, and that shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Klepper. Klepper, the turnaround jumper that time, no good. Gray trying to get the rebound, but it's pushed around. Liedenfrost will get it for Pierz. Up the court with it. Again is Liedenfrost. She'll give it on the far side to Toops. Back to Liedenfrost. Now to Sedlovsky. They're trying to kind of leak her out of a big group of people, but they just haven't been able to. Now she gets open on that far side for three, and this one's good. So Pierz gets on the board first, and again, full court pressure provided. Now, teams are going to probably more than likely provide that full court pressure on the Dragons because, unfortunately, this year they have not been able to get out of that full court pressure, and because of that, you'll see it more often on the Dragons. And now we get Klepper with a travel. I thought she passed it off in time, but they do not agree. Vernig has it now, and that one nearly stolen away, but it's going to be a kick ball on Boland. So Pierz will inbound it again on that far side to Liedenfrost. Over to Hoheisel. Inside in some traffic. Threw it at the net. It's going to be no good. Rebounded there by Sedlovsky. Over to Liedenfrost. She gets around one defender, around two. Well, that was out of bounds anyways, but she threw it at the net. It went and touched the back of the backboard, which is out of bounds, but then she caught it out of bounds, which was out of bounds anyway. So either way, Pine City does get it back. A little full court pressure shown, but then the Pioneers back off. Here comes the Dragons up the court with it. Boland with it. Now give to Metling. Metling on the far side, trying to go inside to Klepper. Klepper, oh, I thought she had Gray. She was wide open, but instead we'll give it to Boland. Boland, the floater is going to be no good, and that one's going to be rebounded by Hoheisel. Slow start again for Pine City, and that is something they've been trying to overcome this season, and so far not so good for the Dragons, but back on defense, they'll give it over. And good passing here for Pierz. Again, they've been just trying to leak out one of their players, and they've been trying to get Sedlovsky, but so far no dice. Now they find a lane with Leidenfrost. Instead, she'll give it to Vernig. 8 seconds to shoot, 7. Vernig trying to find her way around the defender. She does get around, but that shot's going to be no good. Rebounded by Gray. Gray up the court with it, trying to bounce past to Metling, and too soft on it is stolen away by Leidenfrost to the basket. That shot, wow, nice shot. I don't know how it got in, but call it skill, Metling. And how is that not a foul? Well, apparently it's not. Stolen away by Pierz, and Sedlovsky will put it up and in for 2. And it's 7-0 Pine City. This is the exact opposite of how Pine City needed to start this game. Pierz, again, 4-14, but they have played some close games against some really good teams. But here comes Paige Gray and says, not to worry. I'll hit a 3, get us right back into it. 14:30 to go in the first half. Pine City providing a little bit of full court pressure. They'll get it up the court, though, to Hoheisel goes inside to Sedlovsky, and no, she's going to draw a foul. They're going to get Klepper, I believe. Yeah. Her first. Sedlovsky at the line for 2. That one's good. Couple subs here for Pine City. Rhea Johnson checks in, as does Brecken Reiser. Second one from Sedlovsky's no good, so only 1 of 2 there. Now this ball is going to go out of bounds off of one of the Pierz players, and it will go back to the Dragons. Dragons get it inbounded to Boland. They will show full court pressure. Will Pierz quickly up the court to Rhea Johnson. She has been seeing her minutes increase here as the season has gone along, and rightfully so. She has made some big plays here this year as it's 8-3. Trying to go inside to Klepper. Not the greatest of ideas there. She was guarded well. Now Rhea Johnson gets a pass from Boland. That one's going to come up short, and it will go out of bounds. And she shakes her head. She knows she just misshot that one, but you know, the nice thing I've been watching with Rhea Johnson is her ability to erase something like that out of her mind and come back and play defense or even go and get another shot. Oh, a missed travel call there on Vernig. We'll see a shot go and miss, but Hoheisel right there for the rebound. Yeah, they missed that travel call there on Vernig. I mean, that was travel call if I ever seen one. 10-3. Brooke Boland, a nice spin move. She's going to try and work inside the floater. Comes up well short. Brecken Reiser trying to keep it alive, but it's going to be taken by Leidenfrost. Pine City needs to settle things down right now. Just 2 out of sorts. Again, they pass the ball so well, does Pierz, but Rhea Johnson providing some good pressure. Pass on the near side. Vernig. Shot is up. That's no good, and Rhea Johnson gets the rebound. Boland slows things down just a tad. She wanted Johnson. She'll give it over to Johnson. Now over to Klepper on that far side. Give on the near side. Boland left alone for 3. It's going to come up short, but the bounce almost there, and it's rebounded by Sedlovsky. Leidenfrost will slow things down for Pierz now. Calling out the play. Give on that far side to Toops, and now she'll give near side to Sadlovsky back, and they'll go over to Leidenfrost again. Trying to take advantage of that zone coverage by Pine City. It's going to be out of bounds, pass too long, and it will go back to Pine City. 2 in for the Pioneers, 13 and 25. Get those names to you. 13 is going to be Kansas Block. I like that name. That's a unique name, Kansas. And then 25, that's Amber Bozer. We're going to get a foul here on the Pioneers. Vernig, her first, team's first. On the near sideline as the Dragons took it up the court. 5 out there is Klepper, Metling, Johnson, Ganote, and Reiser for the Dragons. They've been switching up the lineups a little bit here. We've seen some lineups we haven't seen yet this year as we have gone through this later part of the season. And they're just trying to see if they can't get something to click with these different lineups and get a little bit of momentum to swing quick. But unfortunately, just hasn't worked out in that way. Rhea Johnson nearly gets the steal on Liedenfrost, but not to be. And now the pass inside to Hoheisel. Her shot is up, no good. And Mallory Klepper comes in there and says, okay, let's take control. She brings it up the court, trying to go coast to coast. We'll give it off to Johnson. Metling, no. She'll have to pull it down, and she'll look to go on that far side. Looks for a screen from Reiser, gives it back to Johnson. Johnson lobs it over to Reiser. Reiser in the near side corner, back to Klepper. Klepper with a 3. That one's going to be no good, but Metling grabs it for the rebound on the far side. She'll take a long 3, and it is good. And that's what Pine City desperately needed to get something going. A little bit of a lower scoring affair here as we go along. Under 11.5 to go. This ball up for grabs. Reiser, ooh, could have been called a jump ball. And now Metling's going to kick it out. Metling covering her mouth to say, whoa, did that just happen? She clearly did not mean to, as by her reaction. She did not mean to, but it's one of those things where maybe had a twitcher, her body just needed to make a move, and unfortunately that was the move. So Pierz will hold on to it. Vernig has it. She'll try and dribble out and give some space for her and her teammates. Now they'll go underneath here to Bozer, and oh, no way. They're going to get a foul here on Klepper, and oh, man. One that probably shouldn't have been called, and the entire gym knew it. Bozer, meanwhile, hits the first. Man, that's not what you want to have happen, because now, unfortunately, Klepper's going to have to sit for at least a little bit with 2 fouls. You don't want her to get a third, but man, that's a tough one to overcome. Bozer, oh, you got to be kidding. You talk about friendly. I don't even know if friendly is the right word, because that one was just, a gift. 12-6 now. Rhea Johnson, high, arcing 3 is no good, and then unfortunately Gray couldn't hold on to the rebound. It's going to go out of bounds, and we'll go back to Pierz, and we're going to get a timeout here by Pine City. Pine City will call their first. They'll be left with 4. 12-6 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. 10:51 to go in the first half. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Give us a moment to remind you that over on 106.5 FM, the girls hockey team is hosting Breck tonight. That is a big, big game. Then, over on 95.5 FM, the Pine City boys playing against Bram in a Great River Conference matchup. Bram trying to keep pace with Mora at the top of the conference, but right now it's all Mora. But again, they're trying to keep pace up there at the top of the conference. Bram is alone in second place, but Mora is alone in first too. So both teams come back out again. You know, Vivian Lanti not being able to play here for the last couple games, I think has certainly been a factor. But at the same time, if you're Pine City, you can't use that as an excuse. You know, you've got some players who are really talented. This team, I'm excited to see what they're able to do in the years to come. Now we get a tie up there. Possession arrow favors the Pioneers, so they'll keep it, but good tie up. And now we'll get another substitution here for Pierz is number 4, Brooklyn Hannikin. But Pine City has got the talent. They just got to get things going their way earlier in games. And a little bit of a slow start here. And just have allowed too many open shots. Battle underneath the basket between Ganote and Heisel. Now we get another foul here on Pine City. This one's going to go against Gray, her first, team's third, and that will send, can't quite see the number, but it'll send someone to the line. I believe that's possibly number 3, Vernig. Her first shot is good. And I know for Judd it's frustrating because, he knows the talent this team has, and he knows how good this team can be, as does everyone else on the team and around the team. They know how good they can be, but just unfortunately haven't been able to get it rolling. As Vernig makes them both, and then the inbound trying to get to Rhea Johnson, but defender coming from behind, not close enough to be a foul call, but now the inbound to Gray out from the far sideline. They'll give to Metling. Metling had Boland open, and now it is knocked out of bounds by Pierz. They'll let it go again, Pine City. And Pine City, unfortunately, when they get behind like this early in a game, they tend to rush things, and because they rush things, a lot of times their offense does not move as it should. Just like that, that ball is going to be up for grabs. Boland, oh, that's got to be a jump ball thing. Oh, my goodness. They're waiting to blow the whistle on these jump balls. They're letting them battle for the ball, so these young ladies are going to have to battle that much harder. As the inbound to Gnote, then to Metling, now to Boland. They wanted to get her open in the corner for three. Unfortunately, just nothing open. 14-6. 8 seconds to shoot. Metling puts up a shot. It's no good. Boland's going to come down with the rebound. She'll chase after it. Keep it alive to Rhea Johnson. Now to Gnote for three. It's good! Rhea Gnote with a big-time three. Dragons needed that one, and Rhea Johnson with a steal. Now to Metling. Metling trying to drive inside, but she draws the foul. Pierz player doesn't agree, but she got into the body a little too much on that one. Liedenfrost did. Sedlovsky will check into the game. She's got 6 points already, and she comes in for Bozer. So Pine City will get set to inbound after the steal. They do to Boland. Now on the near side page, Gray. Back to Boland, over to Metling. Metling thought about the long three, smartly pulls it down, but now in some trouble. Trying to go to Boland, and that one's going to be stolen away. Hannikin with the steal, and she's left alone for three. That's good. And that has happened far too often for Pine City. They get out of sorts offensively. They get a turnover, and then all of a sudden you see the offense struggling to get transition to defense, but beautiful passing that time inside to Ganote. Ganote drills it from inside the free throw line. Pine City is, they have been the better team in a lot of games, but just, unfortunately like that, they leave somebody too wide open and just, unfortunately the defense just doesn't get back in time. It's kind of back and forth because they rush the offense, but then unfortunately they don't get back on defense quick enough, so trying to find that balance. It is a timeout call by Pierz, a full timeout.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Back here on Cool Country, 100.9 FM, WCMP. Game day Gilman out here at Pine City, where the Dragons host the Pierz Pioneers in this girls' basketball game, 19-11. Pierz on top. And again, I've talked a lot about Pine City and their struggles, and it may seem like I'm picking on them. I'm not picking on them whatsoever. I just, as a person who is passionate about calling sports for all of our local teams, it doesn't matter who. I want all of our local teams to win, as we see a miss there from Klepper. Again, that just seemed like offense rushed a little bit. But I'm not picking on them. I'm just so passionate about the teams that we cover, especially Pine City. My bias does come out sometimes, but I'm just so passionate about it, and I want to see our teams win. And when they don't win, but when they are the better team, it's so frustrating because it's like, they are the better team, but they're not playing like it right now. The shot was somehow not called a travel. that's a travel 10 out of 10 times, and the call was missed. Oh, Heisel will get her own rebound. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, she carried the ball for an extra 2 steps. And Pine City just not getting boxed out. Oh, Heisel will get another rebound. I mean, you can't blame the refs, obviously, because, I mean, at the end of the day, both teams have to deal with it, but they have missed a couple. So we see a 3 here from Klepper, but they're I wouldn't want to have their job because I would be out there second-guessing every call that I make. So, again, I'm thankful that we have refs to be here and cover this game. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have it. So I am thankful, but, again, calling what I see and not being rude at all. I want people to understand that. But again, Pine City definitely feels like, again, the better team in this game under 7.5 minutes to go now, but just unfortunately have not been able to get things going the way that they would like. Rediga Note is going to have that one stolen away by Leidenfrost. Now we're going to get a foul on Pine City. I think they got Brecken Reiser with her first and the team's fourth. Right now I think they need a break. They need a halftime break to kind of go over everything. The timeouts just aren't enough right now because I think they see what's going on. I think they see the improvements they need to make, but it's just the timeouts aren't enough time to really go into depth on, hey, here's what we need to do. Obviously, you can say these things as a broadcaster, and that's easy to say. It's easier said than done, obviously. So Mallory Klepper trying to drive inside the shots. Oh, my goodness. She makes that one 9 out of 10 times, and that's the one that she misses. Toops will get the rebound. I mean, she does not miss many of those shots inside those layups. She's usually automatic on those, but that's the one time that she does miss. And no blame on her. That's a tough one. And that ball was lost. Great job by Mallory Klepper to get her hand on that one. Somehow the shot still got out, but Boland's there for the rebound. She'll go inside, back out to Gray. Now over to Boland. Boland, not a clean pass. She'll corral it, though, and trying to go inside to Klepper. Klepper to Boland. Boland will race after that one, and it's no good. Another rebound for Toops. Good play. Just couldn't get the rebound. I like that play. Chasing after the ball to try and get the rebound, but just could not corral the oh, my goodness. And we get Toops with a stiff arm. Toops got away with a forearm shove there, and now back out to Vernig for 3. That's going to be no good. Wind up in the hands of Toops anyways. It comes up short, and then Sedlovsky will get it, and now this one going to be knocked out of bounds. Pine City. That might have been Boland just kind of preserving a little bit of a rest there to try and get the team to settle down. Again, it seems like they're just kind of on their heels right now, trying to catch back up. They're only down by 7, and honestly, their offenses look good. They, again, just have, I think, rushed a few of their shots, but defensively, they're not playing terrible. A few open shots, they've held them to 21, as that is going to be a shot clock violation on Pierz, but they've held them to 21, and honestly, they just forced a shot clock violation there, so defense is seemingly getting better and better. Can the offense now follow suit as we get late into the first half, under 5.5 minutes to go? 21-14, down by a touchdown are the Dragons. Gray looking into the far side corner to Metling. She wanted to go back to Rhea Johnson, but just too much coverage there. Now Boland, now to Johnson. Wanted to go to Metling, to Boland instead in the near side corner. Just off the mark, and that, the longest bounce off a rim I've ever seen. Winds up at the hands of Leidenfrost for the rebound. More of a man-to-man defense now for... Oh, my goodness, no way. They're going to call a foul there, but definitely seen some stronger fouls. Oh, well. We move on. Definitely frustrating to see some of these fouls that have or haven't been called, but hey, we move on. Again, thankful that the refs are here. Leidenfrost got that one in, and then it is poked and taken away by Rhea Johnson. That's her second, trying to get up the court quickly to Gray, to Klepper. Klepper, shot fake, and she's going to come up short on that one, but Boland gets the rebound, and she's a little too strong on that one. It's going to hit the top of the backboard. again, that's what I mean by the offense just seems to be rushing. Klepper actually drove inside and had a shot, but, and then Bolin got the rebound, but I feel like Bolin had a chance to maybe pick up that rebound, turn around, and square up the rim instead of throwing it reverse layup style. I feel like she could have squared it up maybe a little bit more. Full timeout called here by Pine City. We'll be back and see what the Dragons try to do differently to get to go their way.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
A frustrating first half for Pine City, and I don't want to say that they're just trying to get through it to the half, but at this point, I think they're just trying to do as much as they can to keep it close. Obviously, they'll try and get this lead back, but right now, just something they need a little bit more time than a timeout to really go into depth on what they need to do. Haven't been playing terribly. Again, defense obviously has been playing pretty well. They've, the last few possessions, Pierz has not even had a chance. Pine City's getting more and more closer to more and more takeaways. And unfortunately, though, the fouls, there was only 5, but they have been, some of those have just been really, really untimely fouls. And this ball absolutely stripped away by Rhea Johnson. She has just been such a huge component to this team, and she has just increased her role as the season has gone along. That one trying to bank it off the backboard. It's no good. Liedenfrost is there for the rebound. Again, they were just, I think that was a shot, and then they would get back on defense real quick. And Toops with the 3, and that's no good. Klepper tried to get the rebound, but Sedlovsky got it instead. And the reason, it was both Bolin and Klepper were there. And I don't know if they saw each other, but that's one where one of you has got to call it and be a little bit more of a clean rebound. Oh, and then the shot for Gray was there, but it rattled out. Again, one that should have been through, but just rattled out. And sometimes that's just kind of the night it is. You have to push through it and get through it. Oh, Sedlovsky left, all alone, and that can't happen. And that's what I'm talking about. The Dragons have been struggling with is losing some confidence and then losing track of where they're supposed to be. Can't leave Sedlovsky open like that. She's been kind of their key player. Another turnaround jumper, no good for Klepper. Again, I don't know the play call. I don't know if maybe that's the play call, trying to get it into Klepper, and she turns around and does the hook shot like that. But, man, some of these just feel a little bit rushed. That's, I think, the key word of the first half. Pine City, but, they're still close. Still a close game. Not out of hand by any stretch of the imagination. Vernig for 3. It's in and out. Oh, my goodness. Sedlovsky once again left all alone, and she puts it back for 2. It's just frustrating at this point for Pine City. That's going to be a kickball. That's what you had a couple of players there who should have had the rebound, but instead it's Sedlovsky who comes up with it, and right now for Pierz, just way too many second chance scoring opportunities. Rediga Note calling out the offense. She's trying to get things going their way. Under 2.5 to go. Down by 13 are the Dragons. Again, no panic needs to be had because there's plenty of time. Piper Metling trying to drive baseline. Gives it back out to Bolin. Over to Ganote. Ganote to Reiser. Now to Gray. They got 6 seconds to shoot. They got one more pass. Metling, the quick pull of the trigger for 3 off the backboard. No good. Bolin there with the rebound. And it's going to be taken away by Sedlovsky. Over to Toops for 2. 29-14. Right now, Pine City just a look of frustration across the entire team. That pass to Reiser is up for grabs, and it's going to be jump ball. Possession arrow is pointing Pierz's way. 1:32 to go, and if you're Pine City right now, defensively, don't allow them to score. Offensively, try and score. If you can't score, just make sure you hold Pierz off the board. Because this, I'm not going to say it has a chance to get out of hand, but down by 15 now. Pierz pulling momentum in their favor. It could start to flow more and more in their direction as we see a foul here. I think they're going to get Breckenreiser. They will. Her second, team sixth, and at the line is Hoheisel. First one, no good. Second one's good. So 30-14. Under a minute and a half to go. Metling will bounce pass to Boland. Now to Metling. Wanted to go to Reiser, but she was guarded a little too well for that one. And now Metling is wide open for three, but that one is going to be off the mark, and it will go back to Pierz. Hey, you can just tell on some of the shots that they're taking, it's just the confidence is not there right now. They need a momentum swing play, block, steal, something, because the confidence is just, I mean, it's just kind of been stolen away. Travel call, and I think for Pine City they're thinking about time. Sedlowski gets called for the travel. Under a minute to go. Pine City will try and get something on the board before half. Gray now back to Metling. Metling going to Gray, or excuse me, that's Ganote. Back to Gray, to Metling. She wanted the three, has to find some other avenue. To Reiser on that far side, a high arcing shot. Gonna be no good. Liedenfrost with the rebound. 20 seconds, shot clock is off. Liedenfrost left alone for three. That's gonna be no good, luckily. Boland comes up with the rebound. Boland to a Gray, now to Metling. Boland called for it. Trying to drive inside, now to Metling. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. That one's no good. And we had a whistle, but we won't, it will not be enough to get more time on the clock as it was at 0. So halftime, the Dragons trail the Pioneers 30-14. And again, I think a break that the Dragons needed. I think they'll get into the locker room, talk about what's going on, and they'll come back out in the second half with a vengeance. And I think we'll see a completely different team here for Pine City in the second half. They'll turn things around, they'll get things going and get things back in their direction. They'll slowly chip away at that lead, and they'll take over, and soon they'll have the lead themselves. But we'll first take commercial break. You're listening to Girls Basketball here on Cool Country 100.9 FM WCMP.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Are you ready to get back to doing what you love? Whether it's recovering from an injury or preventing one, Wellia Health Sports Medicine Team is here to help. From kids to adults, we specialize in treating sports injuries, including concussions. We're here to get you back to peak performance. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Visit welliahealth.org.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
Back here on Cool Country, 100.9 FM, WCMP. The Dragons trail against the Pierz Pioneers in this girls' basketball game, 30-14. Taking a look at the first half stats for the Pioneers. Leading the way for them was Macy Sedlowski with 12, Hohiza with 7, 3 for Brooklyn Hannikin, and then 2 for Bozer, Toops, Vernig, and Leidenfrost. Rebounds leading the way was Hohiza with 7, 5 for Leidenfrost. They had 5 steals. They were 6 of 8 from the free throw line and only had 2 team fouls. On the other side for the Dragons, leading the way was Redigan with 5 and 3 for Gray, Metley, and Klepper. 5 rebounds to lead the way for Boland. They had 3 steals. They didn't get to the free throw line, and they had 6 team fouls. It was just, again, a frustrating first half for the Dragons. You could tell early on, and again, when they got down when they got down early on, you could tell the offense again started to rush things a little bit, and because for Pine City, unfortunately, a good chunk of the season, what they've done is if they've gotten behind early on in the first half, what has happened is they have tried to get back into it so quickly, but they wind up rushing their offense. Their offense winds up playing out of sorts and not settling in and settling down and playing their style of basketball. They start to rush things a little bit, and that's when they get out of sorts. That's when the turnovers happen. That's when the shots are rushed and don't look as good as they should be, or aren't as good as they should be, or aren't made like they should be. We've seen plenty of open looks for Pine City that they just have not converted. And that's really unfortunate because they're shots that Pine City makes 9 out of 10 times. I mean, they have had some really good open looks, but unfortunately just have not been able to hit them so far here in this first half. And again, I think it's because of that, being down early on and trying to get back into the game quickly. They're trying to get back within a couple of lead or even tie the game or even take the lead themselves. But unfortunately, they work just a little too quick offensively and wind up kind of hurting themselves with how they rush things offensively, and then unfortunately we've seen it turn into the offense not being able to get things going the way they'd like, and then unfortunately they were a little bit slower to get back onto defense. The transition defense was not moving like it should be. So for Pine City, I'm sure they discussed that here at half, talked about, hey, what we need to do and just to get that confidence back. We've seen it late in the half, the frustration on the Dragons' faces, and then the confidence just started to be drained as Pierz was starting to pull more and more away. Pierz went on a little bit of a scoring run there to get out to that 16-point lead. Otherwise, it was still under 10 before half. But being up by 10 and being up only by single digits at half is a big difference. And again, it does affect the mentality. Now, you don't want it to, but it is going to affect the mentality of players because, again, it's a mental game as much as it is a physical game and what is the word I'm looking for? A athletic game. There we go. So it is, it is an athlete's game. It is, you got to be athletic, but again, it is a good chunk mental too. So we've seen the game take a little bit of a mental toll on the Dragons there in that first half. But we know Patrick Judd and we know this team that they're going to come out. They're going to have that mentality of, hey, we just got to take it one possession at a time. We've talked about that a lot, and I'm sure for Judd too often this season, but you just got to take it one possession at a time. There's no 16-point shot. Come out and just play offense the way you're supposed to, the way we want to run it. We'll get our shots to fall eventually, and then we're going to get back into this game. We're going to cut the deficit down. We're going to tie it up. We're going to take the lead, and then we're going to go on and build that lead, and we're going to beat Pierz. I think that's the message, honestly, because, again, we've seen a lot of confidence take a hit, or the confidence take a hit there in that first half for Pine City, and confidence is key, especially when you're in your home gym. Confidence is huge, and when you've got the confidence, the bench has it, the coaches have it, the fans have it, and whenever you put up a shot, they know it's going to go in. There's no second guessing in this first half. A lot of second guessing on shots, a lot of rushing the shots too. So for Pine City, just settle things down, get back to Dragon basketball. Don't worry about the scoreboard right now. Get back to Dragon basketball. Shots are going to fall. We're going to get back into this thing. We're going to cut that deficit down to under 10 again. We're going to tie it up, and we're going to take this lead for Pine City. So, again, I'd like to see the confidence get back as soon as possible. We'll see what they can do. Again, Pierz, unfortunately for Pine City, got a little bit of momentum swing there at the end of the first half. So, Pine City going to have a battle on their hands, but I think they can certainly do it. An update from just across the street over at the Pine City Civic Center. The Breck and Pine City girls hockey teams scoreless after one inning. Breck is second in their section. Pine City, I think, second to last in that section, even with the winning record. So that's how you know that section is so good. So scoreless after one. Hopefully Pine City girls can pull that one off. We're going to take one more commercial break, then we'll be back for the second half of action here on Cool Country WCMP.
You gotta stop somewhere, so make a stop into the Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab CK Oil, save $2 when you buy two, or CK Diesel BEF treatment for only $23.99. While you're at Holiday, they still have the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items, and Refresh Team Spirit with Mountain Dew are 3 for $6, or Celsius, buy one get one free. Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Back here on Cool Country, 100.9 FM WCMP. All teams are getting back out onto the court, getting ready for this second half of action. As we await the buzzer to get us ready for the second half. And there we go. 18 minutes are back up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Dragons trail 30-14. Down by 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Pine City will start with the ball here in the second half. They'll go left to right on your radio dial. Pierz right to left. Bench trying to get into it, trying to provide some home court advantage. Oh, that pass nearly in some danger spot, but Gray finally picks it up and gets it over to Klepper. Klepper with some nice spin on that ball gets it into the basket for 2, 30-16. Now the Dragons come up with a little bit of full court pressure. A step back three is no good for Sedlovsky, and Gray will come up with the rebound. To Metling now. Metling will drift near side. Now give it back to Boland. Boland thought about three. Now gives it underneath to Gray, and that's going to be too much. Basket is good for Klepper, and she draws the foul. We're going to get Sedlovsky, her first, team's first, and Klepper has a chance for the three-point play. Again, Klepper taking over the Jusac role from last 2-3 years. And that one's no good. So she only gets 2 out of that one, but they needed those 2. Was rebounded by the Pioneers, I believe Hoheisel again. Leading Frost will get it over to Sedlowski. Guarded by Klepper. Shot is up. And no good. She got her own rebound, but then it was knocked out of bounds by Boland, and Pierz will hold on to it. Leading Frost will inbound low, and then shot is up. Oh my goodness, somehow good for Vernig. 32-18. Boland at the top of the key, thought about 3. Oh, and then a bad pass inside Sedlowski, an easy steal. Here's with it. Sedlowski has a little bit of space, but she's not going to try and shoot that over Klepper. Leading Frost trying to drive inside. Oh my goodness. Probably should have been a jump ball call, but nope. Hoheisel with another rebound. She puts it up and in for 2. My goodness. Boland will give it near side to Gnotes. Trying to get the mid-range 2. It's no good. Another rebound for Hoheisel. She's got 10 rebounds now. Closing in on a double-double. 34-18 is the score. Sedlowski for 3. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Metling. Inside, that one's knocked out. Gray tried to get it to Klepper, and first time tonight, we're going to see Kate Unverzat. She comes in for Gray. Another young lady who has seen her time increase as the season has gone on. Shot is up, a little bit short, and I don't know who they got. I think Unverzat. No. Apparently not. I don't know. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know what just happened there. Well, we got Piper Metling for a 3 anyways. They said 33, and I was like, well, Pine City doesn't have a 33. I think they meant Pierz is 33. That was Hoheisel. Some sort of warning? I'm not really sure. 3 shot is missed. Hoheisel with another rebound. I apologize. I'm trying to listen in and trying to hear what was said. It sounded like some sort of warning. I don't know, though. Sedlowski driving in, and it's that one to fall. Klepper give to Metling. Metling now going to drive inside. That ball is knocked away somehow into the hands of Unverzat. And she gives it out. Metling bounce pass to Boland. To Klepper. Klepper in some trouble. Gives it over to Boland on that far side elbow for 3. It's no good. A running start to that rebound for Liedenfrost, and she slows things down. Left alone for 3. No good. And Unverzat gets her first rebound on the night. Klepper will stop at the top of the key and give to Boland. They want to get this ball inside to Klepper, but she's been guarded well, and now they're going to get Liedenfrost for a reach-in. Her second. Pierz had a really clean first half, only 2 team fouls. As now Klepper's at the line to shoot 2. First one's good. 36-22. Klepper's second one is good as well. She drops them both in. 36-23 now, and a little bit of full court pressure provided by Pine City. Unverzat left alone underneath, and unfortunately, a little too physical on that one. think they're going to get Unrazat. Said 31, but I think he meant 13. So at the line to shoot 2 is Hoheisel. No good on the first. That one's good. It's 1 and 2 there for Hoheisel. And 37-23. Bowling up the court. Hooks, gives it over to Ganote. Ganote thought about it. She'll give on the near side to Metling. Bounce pass to Boland. Boland will go inside to Klepper. Back out Metling. Metling will drive it inside. Puts up a floater. That's good for 2. Those are the shots that Pine City was not able to get to fall in that first half. And now, finally, getting them to fall here in half number 2. I'm sure for Pine City, they're thinking, well, it's about time. 3 here. And that was 13. Kansas block for 3. That hurts. Yeah, Pierz, unfortunately, just keeping it at that 10-plus mark. This ball nearly stolen away, but luckily for Pine City, it was a kick ball. Pine City will get to inbound. 13:23 to go. Ganote ready to inbound. Gives it on the far side to Boland. Boland inside to Metling. Outside Klepper for 3. And that's good. Love how quick she's able to get the 3 off. And they have already matched their point total from the first half. 14. They're at 28 now. 40-28. Oh, they can't leave Leidenfrost alone like that. And now block for a long 2. It's rebounded. Well, it was by Sedlowski. Then it's knocked out of bounds by a member of Pine City. Rhea Johnson into the game for Ganote. And Gray is going to come in for Boland. Inbound here to, I think that's block. Now over to Vernig. Leidenfrost steps back all the way to the Dragon logo, and now she'll take it up towards the top of the key. A 3 from block again. That one's going to be no good, and Klepper wrestles it away for the rebound. Klepper will take it up the court, give it over to Metling for 3. This will put it back under 10 points. That was a must-have for the Dragons. It's 40-31. Pine City has already eclipsed their point total from the first half. Now with 17 here in the second half. Things going the right way, slowly but surely. And like I talked about, that's exactly what they needed. A 30-second timeout by Pierz. Both teams are left with 3 after using 2. That is huge for Pine City. Over in Bram, that boys game between Bram and Pine City sees Bram up at halftime, 48-32. I'd like to see what Judd communicates to the ladies to try and get them to continue this run. And again, it hasn't been all at once. It has been slowly chipping away. But their offense is getting more shots to fall than Pierz right now. And they obviously, as I mentioned before, have already eclipsed their first half point total. Still more work to do. They still have to concentrate, still have to focus, but Pine City is on the right track. Now, they can just make sure Pierz doesn't get any more open looks from 3. That is, those are sometimes momentum killers when you get those 3s to fall. And Pierz has been pretty decent from 3. This shot is up and no good. It's going to be Metling who grabs the rebound. I wasn't sure if maybe Pine City got a little bit on the arm on that. Looked like maybe, but couldn't quite tell from this angle. Trying to get it set up for somebody there going inside to Klepper. She lost it. And she'll give it over to Sedlowski. That's what you can't have if you're Pine City. Turnovers. Oh, Sedlowski. Yeah, that was just a miscommunication. She drops it in for 2. That is Such a disheartening thing to have happen. Paige Gray. Oh, my goodness. Just off on the shot, and Kansas Blanc gets the rebound. Man, Gray was left alone, and that's when she needed. She knows it, but you're going to give it back to her and let her take another shot. I can guarantee it. Physical inside, shot is up, no good. Klepper's there for the rebound. Klepper trying to take it coast to coast. Oh, the pass for Rhea Johnson just too high. She was open underneath the basket, and that's when Klepper knows she has to have. Boland and I think Ganote in for Metling and Johnson. Those are the little mistakes that Pine City, unfortunately, although they happen in a game, just right now, if you're Pine City, you cannot have. And now, they get a break because the pass from Leidenfrost to block is out of her reach and it will go out of bounds. Pine City will get it back. That is huge for the Dragons. Sound like President Trump over here. Idge. Boland to Klepper. She thought about the shot. Ooh, probably got away with the travel there. She maybe got it off in time, but I think she got away with one. Gray on the far side. Almost. And that's just good box out by Vernig for the rebound. Again, they're gonna get it back to Gray. They're gonna let her shoot, but unfortunately, in these last couple, she has just been a little off. And again, it happens. Nobody's gonna shoot 100% on a night. As Leidenfrost finds a way to the basket for two. Klepper with it. Now to Gray. Over to Ganote. Okay, now again, 13-point lead for Pierz. Turnaround shot for Klepper is good. And another one that they needed. They didn't get those in the first half. They're starting to get them to fall now. This pass is, oh man. Those are that was tipped and was bookmarked for a steal. This one somehow no good. I don't know how that one didn't go in, but Pine City gets a little bit lucky on that one. Klepper for three, a long-range three. It's going to be no good. Kate Unverzat tries to smack it out so she has a chance to race after it, but Leidenfrost is there for the rebound. And that's one, again, where, yes, she was open, but she was a little bit further out than you'd like to see, so maybe next time they'll try and set something up, but again, you also don't want to say, hey, don't take an open shot. So it's a delicate balance, and it's hard. It's hard. I could imagine as a coach to try and say, okay, yeah, I want you to take the shot, but maybe next time find somewhere else. This shot's going to be no good. Rebounded by Bozer. And Pine City fans not too pleased with that foul call. This one on Unverzat, her second. Team second, and that puts Bozer at the line for two. And, of course, they get the friendly roll. That one to drop in. Metling is in for Unverzat. Hannikin in for the Pioneers. That one's good as well. 46-33, Dragons trail. They'll go inside Metling, and a little bit of contact on that one. Gets her own rebound, gives it outside to Boland. Boland to Klepper. Klepper trying to go inside to Gray. Gray was pushed, or maybe she tripped. I couldn't quite tell. Just my initial reaction is push, but she may have been tripped up inadvertently. Could have been nothing on that one. Boland will try and drive to the basket, and she drops that one in for her first points on the night for two. Under that halfway mark in this game, or in the second half, if you will. I suppose halftime's a halfway mark, but under 9 minutes to go, and that is going to hurt. Bozer for three. Yeah, again, they left her open. Somebody missed something somewhere, and they left her open. Klepper, no good from three, but Metling with an all-time hustle play gets that one and saves it, and then the pass to Gray inside is knocked away, and unfortunately she was the last to touch it out of bounds. A frustrating night for Pine City, but They have not shown any give in this one. Travel. And get finally a travel call on the Pioneers leading Frost. One too many steps. Plenty of time left in this one for Pine City to make that comeback. .7:56 to go. Down by 14. Metling, ooh, that pass was in some danger, but somehow got it back. And then, oh my goodness, a late whistle. Klepper did get fouled. The whistle was just a little bit late. We get this one on Vernig, our second, team's third. Klepper's at the line for two. You could hear the collective gasp and from Pine City fans as if to say, come on, that's a foul. But ref was just, I think he was either working on getting the whistle to his mouth or working on getting it blown. Sometimes your mind tells you to do something and your body just doesn't follow through. As Klepper makes them both. 49-37. Pine City fans still encouraging. The bench still giving lots of love. That one's up, and Bolin will get the rebound. No good on the shot for Pierz. Bolin finds Klepper underneath, and I like that's veteran play right there by Klepper. She took the second to dribble, to set herself up, to square up the basket, and she dropped it in for two. That is exactly what she needed to do. I mean, exactly. Oh, no, left alone for three, but this time it won't be good. And Bolin going to come away with the rebound. Now again, they need to just make sure they're running their offense the way they need to. That one's going to be off the mark, and they're going to get Reiser for a foul, her third. Tried to get her hand on the ball, but because she got turned around and was more or less on the back side of the Pierz player, that's why they got the foul call. The right call, but just a frustrating one for Pine City, a tough one, because Reiser's trying to get her hand in there and draw the jump ball, but again, is the right call. Left alone, three. That one's going to be no good. Klepper comes out of there with the rebound. Now slowing things down, looks to Metling. Metling going to drive inside. She puts up a floater. That's no good. Metling got the rebound and drew the foul. She'll go to the line and shoot two. And a lot of times you'll see them get the rebound and hold their hands over their head and just throw it at the basket, but that's because they know they're going to draw the foul. So a smart play there by Metling. She'll shoot two. First one's no good. That's a tough one. Gray and Unrazada in for Reiser and Ganot. 6:28 to go, 49-39. But she corrects and gets that one to fall. One of two there. 49-40. Plenty of time. Pierz back up the other way with it, leading Frost, holding, and Hoheisel underneath, and yeah, she's just left alone, unfortunately, for two, and back up to an 11-point lead. Inside to Klepper. Klepper, through all the traffic in the world, splits the double team and drops it in for two. Klepper has a lot of points now. And we'll get a timeout call by Pine City. It'll be a full, so while they take one, we'll take one as well. You're listening to Girls Basketball.
And here's the pitch. Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
Back here on WCMP Cool Country 100.9 FM. 6:02 to go, 51-42. Pine City has ducked it under 10 points multiple times here in the second half, but Pierz has come back to answer, and Pine City just needs a few more possessions to go their way. Sedlowski will take it to the basket herself, misses, but Hoheisel there for the rebound. This time no good, and Metling is there for the rebound. Metling driving inside. Oh no, stolen away by Liedenfrost. Shot is up, no good. Brooke Boland going to get the rebound, so catch a break, do the Dragons there on that one. Klepper trying to go inside, and a little bit of a tough pass. Maybe should have went elsewhere, but I mean, there was really nowhere else to go. That play was set up for Brooke Boland to go inside, and now a three from Liedenfrost. No good. Hoheisel with the rebound, and for two. Still plenty of time, 5 minutes. And Razat looks to Metling. Give to Boland. Now to Klepper. To Unverzat. Oh, she was open for three. Instead, she'll give it over to Metling, who's even more open for three. And she drops it in. 53-45. Canote misses on the steal attempt, so she'll have to trail and get back up on defense. Liedenfrost with it. Oh, no. Luckily, that one misses for Pierz. Klepper with the rebound. 1-on-2, and she'll pull up from the free throw line, and banks it in. That's big, 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 big for Pine City. Thought that one was going to be too strong, but she knew what she was doing, banking it. Liedenfrost, and again open for three, Hannikin. Again, luckily miss, but it's going to be rebounded this time by Sedlowski. They have unfortunately, Pine City has left Pierz wide open from three with Hannikin, and she's dropped into three earlier, so can't leave her open like that, but so far it hasn't hurt them yet. A 30-second timeout here by Pierz. Both teams are left with two. We'll keep it here. Plenty of time still for Pine City to tie this game up and take the lead and get out of here with the win. But defensively, they've just left a few too many shooters open. And they're going to have to find a way to get back defensively and make sure they're guarding where they need to be. But again, they're playing a little bit more zone. They're trying to protect the inside, trying to get, I think, more rebounds defensively. But that has left Pierz open a few more times from outside the perimeter than they would like. 4:06 to go, 53-47 here on 100.9 FM and Q Media Sports YouTube. And left open for three, Hoheisel. Line drive shot, no good. Rebound is up for grabs. Boland battling. She pulls it away from everybody. She says, give me that. Metling for three! That is a clutch shot there by Metling, and now you can see the confidence is building back for Pine City. Shot inside, no good. Boland can't keep it alive. You can hear the crowd getting into it, the bench getting into it now. Pine City's feeling it a little bit. Refs talk about something real quick, not sure what, but I think it may be the shot clock, maybe it resetting, but a three attempt here is going to come up short. Oh, man, right into the hands of Hoheisel. Her shot's going to come up short, and Unverzat takes it away on the rebound. And We're going to get a foul here on Pierz. That one's going to be on Toops, her first, team's fourth. She got into Metling a little too strong there on the sideline. Now for Pine City, obviously you want the 3 here, but I don't think you can not take an open shot inside if you've got it. Trying to find Metling. Metling will pull up for 2. That one's good. Like I said, if you have the shot from 2, take it. You can't pass it up. And Toops left open for 3. No good. Boland grabs the rebound, spins away. Quick up the court to Gray. Gray, oh, they're going to get her for the travel. She couldn't corral the ball in time, and now she spun. She took that one extra step, and oh, man. She's going to be upset with herself, but her good teammates are telling her, do not worry about it. We are just fine. Crowd getting into it a little bit more, trying to encourage their team. Leidenfrost, a good move. Now inside. Oh, no way! No way! Unver's out with a clean block, and they're going to get her. Oh, they're going to get Gray for a foul. And then they're calling it a, oh my goodness, I don't know where they saw a shooting foul from Gray. Oh man, that's a tough one. It's a shooting foul, no less, and Leidenfrost no good on the first. So a shooting foul on Gray puts Leidenfrost at the line for 2. Misses the first. This one's going to be good. 1 of 2 there. 54-52. Under 2:45 to go. Unverzat give to Boland. To Klepper. Klepper, will she drive inside? Pass back out to Gray. At the last possible second, this ball nearly stolen away. Unverzat inside, gets it to fall for 2, and she ties the game. You can see Judd kind of take a collective breath as if to say, whew, okay, settle things down. And a travel call there on Sedlowski. Now if you're Judd, you're trying to think, okay, how do I go about this? How do I get us to settle down? How do I get us to stay in this rhythm? How do I keep the momentum on our side? But how do I make sure we're not too anxious when we're shooting the ball? Apologize about that. We had a quick little mix-up there, but now we're back. Ball over to Klepper. Lost it. And Sedlowski will get the steal. No way! Klepper had her hands clearly up, but I guess they're going to get a foul. So a foul here on Klepper, her third, team's 5th, and that will send, I believe, Sedlowski to the line. It is. She's been pretty good tonight. One of their key players, but that one's no good. 1:48 to go in this game. That one's good. So 1 of 2. You can hear the fans getting into it, trying to encourage their team. They know it's theirs for the taking. Boland with it, and she'll give to Klepper. Now to Metling. Back over on the far side to Boland. Boland to Metling. Now they just need to find a open look. So far, Pierz doing a good job defensively. Boland trying to find somewhere to go with it. She gives it to Unverzat. Oh, and then a long shot from Metling is going to come up well short. Needed to find somewhere else to go with that, or maybe even just try and take a step closer. Unfortunately, that's one of those situations where rushed it just a little bit. She still had 5 seconds, but that's one where, again, she feels the pressure. She's just trying to get a shot for her team. And you got definitely understand it. Shot is no good. Boland there for the rebound. Still plenty of time, a minute to go. She'll give to Metling. Now trying to get it to Klepper. Too far. Give to Metling. And nice job there by Patrick Judd, the head coach for Pine City, to realize, hey, his player is right on that sideline. He needs to call timeout to keep possession. 30-second timeout by Pine City. They're down to one left, 55-54. I thought the Vikings gave me heart attacks. I thought the Vikings stressed me out watching them. Man, this isn't stressed me out so much. This is fun. But I'm sure it has been a little bit frustrating for the Dragons on a night like tonight where, again, there have been times where they've shown they are the better team, but just unfortunately haven't quite been able to swing it fully in their direction. But a second half to remember. 54 seconds left, 55-54. Last couple possessions for Pine City. They haven't found any open shots. Look to find something. And now we get the referees. They're going to talk about something. I think, again, the shot clock. Well, either way. Get it inbounded to Klepper. Klepper to Metling. Thought about three, but she has to pull it down. That's a smart play, unfortunately. I know she wanted it. Probably could have had it. She's been really good from three lately, but Bolin for three on the far side. That's big. 57-55. Shot clock and game clock separated by maybe a half second. Here we go. 57-55. Pine City up by 2 now. 28 seconds to go. 27-26. And now 25. Can Pine City hold on? Oh, no. Open look for 3. That's no good. It's going to be kept by Ho Heasel. Oh, man, I thought she traveled. Luckily for Pierz, her coach was able to get the timeout. 18 seconds. Full timeout by Pierz. We'll take a 30-second break and be
A&W
right back.
Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat. And they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Back here on WCMP, Cool Country, 100.9 FM. Late in this one, Dragons have a 57-55 lead, thanks to a Bolin 3. It is not over yet. There's about 18 seconds to go. So this one, not over. Both teams are 2 fouls away from putting the other one in a bonus, so no matter what happens, we would have to see 2 fouls in a row. Pine City just needs to make sure that they don't allow a 3 from Pierz to give them a 1-point lead. If they get a 2, that's fine. The entire bench getting on their feet, fans following suit. Here we go. Pierz will inbound. Shots. Oh! Going to get a foul call. They're going to get Unverzat. Man, I thought it was just good defense, but a little too much into her. Ho Heasel is at the line for 2. First one's up. No good. 16 seconds to go. Now, if she makes it, that'll be interesting to see what Pine City does. Did we get... What happened? She's getting 3. Well, she misses that one. She only gets one of a couple. And Leidenfrost will come up to foul Bolin. They got to get one more. 11 seconds to go. Pine City needs to find a way to pass this ball around to make sure that they drain as much of this clock off as they can before they draw the foul to go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Man, no matter what, this free throw is going to be pretty big. They want Klepper there. Give to Metling. Metling up the court to Gray. Gray, oh no. Stolen away, 5-4. Oh, geez. Oh, man. Exactly what Pine City could not have there, a turnover. Could not have that. Unfortunately, not a worse spot for a turnover. We have full timeout and 3.8 seconds to go. If I'm Pine City, now I don't know where 6 seconds. They put about 3 more seconds on the clock. Oh, man. So Pierz is going to have a chance to get into the front court and take that last 3. Oh. You can feel the entire collective breath of this gymnasium has just left. Everyone is on the edge of their seats. Judd, I think, trying to argue that there should be less time on the clock. I didn't see, honestly. I was trying to follow the ball and see what happens. Again, everybody on the edge of their seat. Another member of the Pine City coaching staff asking, hey, there needs to be less time on the clock, but referee sticking with his call. You got to commend him for that, you know. Home gymnasium for Pine City, and they're up by 1, and you're getting a lot of flack from the coaches, and he's sticking with his call. Not that, you know, because coaches are upset about a call that he would change it, but like the fact that he's sticking with it. But here we go. I think Pierz will have to inbound on the back court. So for Pine City, that does give them a chance. What will they do? They're not going to play full court pressure. They're going to allow them to inbound. I thought maybe they'd get full court pressure just to make them battle to get into the front court, but not the case. Ball's up for grabs. 3, 2, 1. It's good! It's no good, and Pine City is, oh my goodness, come away with the win. Sedlowski missed on the 3, and Pine City, whoo-wee, escapes with the win here in this one. Are you kidding me? What a game. Unfortunately, that ball got away from 2 Pierz players. Sedlowski had it on the last shot. It was just to the side. I thought it was more on than what it was. I thought it was getting to the rim. Unfortunately, it did not make it. A heartbreak for one team, and a little bit of maybe a lucky feeling for the Dragons, but wow, what a game. Well, we're going to get a commercial break. We'll be back to recap this one, and then we'll get our A&W Player of the Game and our coach's interview here on Cool Country WCMP.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsand, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
Back here on Cool Country 100.9 FM WCMP. The Dragons beat Pierz by 57-56. A crazy game, but man, one that I think we'll all look back on and say, wow. Meanwhile, update from Bram. The Bombers beat Pine City over in that boys game 88-44, so that's how that one. But ours, wow, it took all 36 minutes, but Pine City did it. They came out and scored 43 points in this second half to their 14 first half points. It was just, and I said it before halftime. I said, it just feels like Pine City needs to get into the halftime break and talk deeper about what is going on, about the things they need to fix, and they did that. I mean, you don't go from scoring 14 in one half to 43 in the next without having good coaching and good players who are willing to listen, to take responsibility for what has happened in the game and come out and execute what they needed to and not worry about the scoreboard, and they did just that. I mean, this is a win that Pine City is going to have to hold on to. They're going to look at and they're going to go, hey, this is one that we got to look at and continue to look at as we go throughout the season, because we now know what we can do going forward. We're going to get 2 A&W players of the game. That is for you, and that is for you. We will get them the mic here in just a moment. You guys can share that, split it between you two. This one, man, a tale of two halves here in this one. Give us kind of a look at what the feeling was in that first half, because it looked like there was some frustration.
I feel like it was a back-to-back game. We came in a little bit tired, a little bit slow, and I feel like just coming after like a game last night, we were expecting just for it to flow, and it really didn't flow, and then we were just kind of down and yelling at each other, so the second half definitely improved.
I also feel like our first half, our shots were not falling at all, and that was a big struggle because we were going into the game thinking it was going to be a shooting night, but it really wasn't.
Well, you guys did a good job coming out in that second half, but what was the message from Coach Judd there at halftime? If you can share.
It was very intense. It really made our heads turn around. It was, we can get out there, we can do this, we're down, why are we down? We need to be playing, we can play better. So.
It made us open up and realize that we are better than this team and that we can push through and overcome the battle.
43 points in the second half compared to 14 in the first half. When did you guys realize in that second half that, hey, we're going to make this comeback, we've got a chance still?
I feel like, honestly, the first 2 plays of the game, the intensity was so much higher than the first half, and I just felt that we had a chance.
Yeah, we were feeding Mallory, and once we get the post in touch, either Mallory takes to the basket or we get some good kickouts, and that just definitely helped the flow just get going.
And defensively, things started to move even better. The first half, unfortunately, left them open a few more times, but this second half, the physicality picked up for you guys. What is that mentality change for you guys, going from a first half and allowing 30 points to only allowing 26 in the second half?
Definitely, we have to get in there on boards. I feel like we did a better job. Not perfect, but we definitely were we need to get boards. If they make a shot, it's okay. We got to go, respond. So that was the mentality change.
And also, first half we were playing with fear. The second half we just came out. There's nothing for us to lose. We just got to go hard.
Yeah.
And getting those rebounds, there was definitely some physical play there. But, again, you guys got it back into offense real quickly. When that ball was moving, both of you were shooting the ball really well. When you're shooting the ball like that, do you even have to think about it?
No, you just catch and you just throw it and you're like, okay.
If it goes in, it goes in.
And if it doesn't, you got the next one, because once you make a couple, you just start to feel good and you're like, okay, now I have it.
And we talk about all year this team just continuing to mesh, continuing to grow together. In a game like this, does this for you guys make this team even closer?
Yeah, I definitely feel like when we share the ball, like Brooke had some really good rebounds, like big boards tonight. Mallory had some really good like baskets. I had a good couple threes. Like Paige had good defense. It just builds the cohesiveness of the team.
And also when we're finding each other and passing passing the ball around, it definitely like brightens the mood and gets everyone all pumped up.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on this win. Get some rest here, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That again was our two A&W players of the game, Mallory Klepper and Piper Metling, both the A&W co-players of the game, and deserving so. But we could have had, we could have had a plethora of players of the game. The whole team should probably get a A&W player of the game certificate just because they did that well. Again, it was a team effort. You heard them say, they were kind of getting frustrated with each other in that first half. They weren't playing as a team. They come out in the second half, and then it feels like it immediately turned around. And you heard Klepper, Mallory, she talked about it. She said, I asked, when did it feel like, things were turning around in your favor and you knew you were in it? She said the first two plays of the second half. First two plays. And you could kind of tell because they were scoring, and even though they allowed Pierz to score, you could just tell there was confidence. They weren't playing with fear. They were playing with confidence. They were playing their type of basketball, and they just continued. And again, I talked about it. I said it before half. This is going to be one of those games where they just have to continually chip away at this lead. They can't focus on the deficit. They can't worry about trying to get all these points back at once. They just have to focus. Now, it took all 18 minutes in the second half, but they did it. All you need to do is lead when the buzzer is at 0, when the clock reaches 0. That's all you need to do, and that's what they did. They led for about, 30 seconds in this game, maybe. That's all you need. Now, obviously, they'll want to lead for more going forward, but this is a huge night. Obviously, back-to-back nights, as you heard Piper Metling say. A little bit tired from last night. Again, they beat a good team in Barnum last night, but a little bit of a tiring night here for Pine City. But I gotta say, I'm really impressed with their ability to come out of a game like they had yesterday against Barnum, who they beat 64-55. Come back on another night, who again playing against another team that is better than their record says. And Barnum is not a slouch team either. They are 11-6. On the season, so they're a good team too, as we do have our head coach Patrick Judd coming up to join us. And Coach Judd, kind of a tale of two halves here in this one. A little bit of frustration there in that first half.
Yeah, we just struggled with doing what we do to win games, and that's just move the ball well and be more active on the offensive glass, and as well as getting the ball inside a little bit. And we were just kind of comfortable just shooting from the outside. Felt like defensively we just were a little flat-footed. Maybe that was from last night playing in Barnum, but we had a good halftime conversation and we found a way to persevere and come back and win a very fun, entertaining game on Parents' Night.
Absolutely. And what was it like to see your team come out of a first half where nothing seemed to go your way to the second half where not everything went your way, but they slowly started to chip away at that lead and started to play their brand of basketball?
Yeah, I remember looking at the clock with about 10 minutes left and just saying, man, we made a little run, got within 9, and now it's back to 14. I was like, we haven't made enough ground up. And then all of a sudden, they just found a way to hit a couple shots, and once we got it back down to 9, we took a timeout to talk about what we need to do to get it under 5. And then just like that, things just opened up. And it was really fun to see a night where the momentum went our way, because we've been on the other side of that too much this year. So
absolutely, and one of the big keys here for tonight, I think, you talked about it, the rebounds. Defensively, offensively, getting those second chance scoring opportunities, but defensively, you had some big rebounds from Unverzad. Bolin had some big rebounds. Klepper even had a few. Just talk about that mentality for those girls to go and get those rebounds.
Well, that's just what it was the attitude that they came with. I mean, you could just see every time that Brooke got a ball, for example, she was sweeping that ball, ripping, chinning it. She was like, that's mine. And you saw that with Kate. She tipped the ball to herself. We worked on drills like that to try to keep that ball alive for yourself. And, when Kate's physical inside, she's one of the best in there right now already. She's only an 8th grader. And Mal stepped up again in the second half, just like she's done in previous games. Like when we need someone to take over, it's got to be Mal, and she does a good job of just putting the team on her shoulders in a way that isn't saying, hey, it's my team. It's no, ride my shoulders, let's go get this. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and speaking of that, you had a couple of players who stepped up big here with some big shots in the second half. It seemed like everybody did. But what is that mentality when you did have a turnover or two here in the second half to go, hey, okay, that's okay, let's get back on defense and then worry about getting back on offense?
It was the difference between the first half and the second half. There wasn't a single turnover where I was like, that's a good energy turnover. And there wasn't a good energy foul. And in the second half, that's all they were. Like when they were turnovers, it was like, okay, that was we tried to go a little too fast when we were pushing the pace, or we overlooked somebody when we should have looked to the easy pass. It was just the focus was so much different. I mean, if you saw it live, you could just see it. It was just the focus level that this team had in the second half was maybe the best half of basketball they've played this year.
Yeah, it was really impressive. And we talk about this team pushing the pace, how a few times they've kind of rushed things a little bit, and it seemed like they rushed things in the first half. What is the difference here in this game in pushing the pace in the second half to rushing it a little bit in that first half?
The coach's terminology, footwork. I mean, it just felt like we didn't get our feet set when we were moving up and down the floor in the first half, and then the second half our feet were with us. We had our legs underneath us. So that was part of it, but it was also just, making passes in rhythm to people. Like, it felt like in the first half we were always like getting a pass, but it would be not in front of us. It'd be behind us, or it'd be low, it'd be high. Like, just hitting the right spots, and that's part of it. It's just making 100% passes.
For sure, and obviously 2 wins in a row now. What is the message to the team to try and keep this momentum going forward?
1-0 next game in Moose Lake, Willow River, and we talked about that we could roll off 5 in a row here if we really want to. We knew these first 2 games were going to be tough because they were back-to-back. Friday's going to be tough because it's the next one in front of us. So we just take one step at a time, and I'm just proud that we started the year 0-3, and we never got above 500 until tonight. So we're finally 10-9. And we're in the right direction here to have success down the stretch.
No doubt. Well, Coach, congratulations on the win here tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate it. Go Dragons.
That, again, was head coach Patrick Judd. Appreciate him for joining us. And, again, a big win here tonight for Pine City. You can feel it with Coach Judd, with the players. I think they finally figured something out. Tonight, and that is, first of all, we know that we're a team that plays with a lot of emotion. We play with a lot of emotion. You heard some of the players talk about how they were getting on each other a little bit. They were yelling at each other a little bit. The emotions kind of ran a little bit too high in that first half. But then you heard, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Air is a little bit thick apparently. But you heard how they changed it around in the second half, and it wasn't. And there was no hard feelings from the first half. It was just, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep making plays. Let's keep doing what we need to do to get things going our way. And they really did a good job. And that's, I mean, for Coach Judd, he's got to be so happy with that. And I know the young ladies are thinking to themselves, hey, we got it on each other a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. Our emotions maybe ran a little bit too high, but we did it. We made this comeback. We scored 43 points in a half and held the other team to 26 to come back and win by 1. There is no reason we can't win every single game that we have left on our schedule against the teams that we play. Obviously, it's going to be tough. Obviously, there's going to be things that we have to adjust, maybe more, maybe less, maybe do better to start a game with the games they have at the end of the season. I mean, their end of the season schedule is ridiculous, but they could win 5 in a row. They really can. They beat Barnum last night. They beat Pierz tonight. Now they could go win, possibly win against Moose Lake, Hinckley, and they get a rematch against Aiken. And I said it. I'm sure they felt like they should have won that game at Aiken earlier in the season before Christmas break. It was only a 51-46 loss. You get that game here, totally different. It's a totally different look. It's a totally different game. Even if they're trailing, you got your home fans behind you to help you and propel you get that win. So there's no reason they can't rail off 5 in a row. Now, after that, it's Bram. That's going to be a tough one. No reason they can't win it, but it's just going to be a tougher game. Then they get Mora at home. By the way, they have a lot of home games at the season. Mora at home on Valentine's night. They're trying to get another win over them. I think it was only a 10-point win the last time they played. 20, and they're looking to make it another 20-point win. Then they're at Spectrum, and then they host Royalton. 2 very good teams in the section who are towards the top of the section that, hey, if you can rattle off those 5 and then win a couple here and there, coming to those last 2 games, one on the road, one at home, there's no reason he can't split them, if not win both, and then wind up in the top 8 of the playoffs and get a home playoff game. This is a team that can very well go rattle off the wins they need and wind up having a home playoff game in Section 6AA at the end of February, on February 27th. There's no reason this team can't do that. They are that good of a team, and I think after tonight, they've got to have that belief in them to realize, hey, we are a tough team to beat. We are never going to be out of a game. And I think they realize that here tonight. So, a good win for Pine City as we take a look at some of the stats here tonight for Pine City. Leading the way was Mallory Klepper with 22. Piper Metling, not to be outdone, scored 20. Then it was both Ganote and Bolin with 5, 3 for Paige Gray, and 2 for Kate Unverzat. She had 3 big rebounds here in this second half, and I mean big. They were important rebounds for this Pine City team that helped them get back to offense and score. And not only that, that kept Pierz from getting a second chance scoring opportunity that we've seen so much in the first half. So some big rebounds. Bolin did lead the team with 11, a chunk of them coming in the second half. 8 for Metling, 7 for Klepper. Just great rebounding performance. They only had 3 steals, 3 in the first half. They were 5 of 7 from the free throw line here, all in the second half, and had 10 total team fouls, 6 in each half. So Pine City wins it 57-56 over Pierz. They will now wait and play on Friday at Moose Lake Willow River. It's not going to be an easy game, but it's a game that I think now they feel like they should win. But they got to go into that with the mentality of, hey, we got to be the better team, and early and often. And then after that, it is at home for 2 games against, now they only have 2 more away games. After Moose Lake Willow River, they get 4 games in a row at home. February 3rd and 6th at home against Hankley and Aiken. Then February 11th and 14th at home against Bram and Mora. February 18th is on the road at Spectrum. February 21st is at home against Royalton to end the regular season to prepare for postseason play. So again, there's no reason this Pine City team won't find themselves maybe a home playoff game before the end of the regular season. We'll have to wait and see. But that is going to do it for me. I appreciate you all tuning in. We want to thank all of our fine sponsors who sponsored this and every other broadcast. We appreciate them. Couldn't do it without them. So we, of course, appreciate them. And, of course, appreciate you. Appreciate you for tuning in and listening to this exciting game. A frustrating first half, but man, they turned it around there in the second half to come out with the win. And if you're watching this on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way you never miss any single game that we go live with. All you have to do is click that red subscribe button, and then you'll get notified every single time we go live with a local sporting event. All you have to do is click on the notification. Of course, some other ways you can stay tuned to the local sports is our morning shows on 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9, or on this station with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45 for your local sports updates. Talk this game, all the other local games going on in our listening area, plus regional and national sports as well. Also, you can stay tuned to our websites, both KBEK and WCMPradio.com. Go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule for all the links for the games that we'll be covering that week. That's updated every Monday afternoon, and it is subject to change. Also, stay tuned to our websites for articles, interviews, and things like that. Our social medias, both our Facebook pages, both our Instagrams, and our Twitter at WCMP Radio for all things local sports. Interviews with coaches and players, broken records, LOI signings, articles from games that we've been at and recapped, and games coming up that day that we're covering. So stay tuned for all that and more on our social medias. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever you got to do to stay tuned to the local sports here in our community. In the final on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, Pine City beats Pierz 57-56, and now they get a break and will play at Moose Lake Willow River on Friday. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. Remember to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through. Your kindness could really make their day. Again, the final on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, Pine City 57, Pierz 56. For Cool Country, WCMP. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night. Cool Country, WCMP. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night.